for taking time out with PSOA. Sean Johnston here, bringing you Week 4 NSAA NFHS training tape. Our formation today we are going to focus on is scrimmage play kicks in punt formation. The very first clip we have set up here is just to show the proper mechanics. We have the referee who is responsible for communicating with the umpire that the kicker is 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so we have snapper protection, and will be responsible for the backs and false starts. The umpire will start 8 to 10 yards off the ball, make sure nobody contacts the snapper immediately after the snap while we are in snapper protection, and then he will have the initial blocks at the line of scrimmage, and then once the line of scrimmage players start running downfield, he's going to turn towards the line judge side and follow the blocks in the middle of the field. Line judge will be releasing at the snap while looking over their shoulder towards the middle of the field and officiating the blocks going downfield on his third, and then the action at the receiver while they are attempting to catch the kick. The linesman, the H, stays at the line of scrimmage to rule, did the kick completely pass the line of scrimmage? And if so, only the receivers can recover the ball in advance. With that being said, let's take a play at properly covering a scrimmage kick punt. Line judge releases at the snap, looking towards the inside part of the field, and he's probably going to be taking a look at these two blocks running down the field. Umpire is starting 10 yards off. Depending on how quick this line charge comes at him, he may move forward with the snap. Since he's not threatened, does a good job being stationary, and his eyes are set to rule on offensive holding and defensive holding. And then you have the H, top of the screen, holding the line of scrimmage. The back judge properly starts on the H's side of the field, and he wants to start on the H's side because the H is holding the line of scrimmage. The line judge is moving down at the snap. So that's the side of the field that has the opening, and we'll take a look at a couple plays later on showing this. At this point, the back judge is responsible for the receiver, number 4, possessing the ball, or the kickers touching the ball. The L and H will have all blockers. The umpire, you're going to have the players in the middle of the field. Not much going on this play. However, those are the proper mechanics to perform every single scrimmage kick punt. So when crazy stuff does happen, we have 5 officials taking on their priorities and watching their primaries so we don't miss egregious fouls or touchings. Another small note here, the back judge blew the whistle right as that ball was touched. Have a very slow whistle, back judges. Have the whistle out of your mouth, wait for it's clearly possessed, then find the whistle, blow, and signal. This next play, we have 4th and 5. So pre-snap communication. We are saying to the referee, 5 will get us 1. And that should also bring attention to the offense may try to draw the defense into the neutral zone. Right now, we are not in scrimmage kick formation. We are still not in scrimmage kick formation. All right. The snapper is not protected. Once we recognize the ball is kicked, the line judge promptly starts running downfield with his eyes looking towards the middle of the field. Excellent job there. The defense was playing it as a punt the whole entire time, and the back judge was starting behind that receiver. Now, once we have our starting spot on the H's side of the field, we want to remain at that side of the field. So at this moment, since this ball is caught at the 21-yard line, we would like our back judges to be 2 to 3 yards behind the receiver and 5 to 7 yards wide of the receiver. So we have a clear look of catch and the yard line of where it was caught. Now we're going to talk about little return. All right, so at this point, we are straight lined as a back judge. All right, we would never want to get straight lined as a back judge. This is another reason to stay wide. Good job stopping the clock. All officials should be stopping the clock on a scrimmage kick punt, whether we have a score, whether we have a foul, injury, or in this case, possession by the receivers. The clock is stopped. A final reminder, crew communication. We are not in scrimmage kick formation, no numbering exceptions, no snapper protection, as this player is not 10 yards behind the neutral zone at the snap. They must have 5 guys, 50 through 79, and this defensive line can charge directly into the snapper. So this scrimmage kick punt is going to show proper use of mechanics to cover the goal line. We put ourselves in a bad spot to rule on, is this a touchback or is this a punt kicked out of bounds, where we will place the ball where it went out of bounds. So we have the line judge running down the field. That line judge will be responsible for any out of bounds spot with that ball rolling on the ground going out of bounds or landing within the first 2 yards off the field. If the ball's kicked well off the field, the line judge will get help from the referee. But if it's rolling out of bounds here, we want the line judge to be turned, straddling that sideline while running and seeing where that ball went out of bounds. Back judges, we need you in the field of play, all right, on the open side, ruling on the goal line. The back judge right now is out of bounds sideline. We need that back judge to rule any part of that football that touches any part of that goal line in a kick status will result in a touchback. So as we play this play out, we do have the ball rolling and comes to a complete stop now at the 3-yard line. But when we get to that spot of recovery at the 3-yard line, our mechanics are flawed. We have all this open field. We have all these blockers coming. We need that back judge to have the middle of the field, goal line, possession, beanbag, and then the inside to outside look. So back judges, you're going to start on the open side of the field. On the H's side, you have goal line responsibility and remain on that open side. Trust your line judge is going to have the out of bounds sideline spot for you. This next play, we are going to have a foul on K at the time of the snap. So we'll take a look at illegal shift, and then we'll talk about penalty enforcement on a scrimmage kick play. So we have 4th and 7 at the B15. You saw the referee rolling his arms. The referee is indicating snapper protection as there is a player 10 yards behind the neutral zone. And then the umpire will mirror that and communicate to the defense. We're going to play this out. We're going to see proper mechanics with the line judge releasing at the snap. Right now we have 2 players shifting. Player 1, player 2. Once we have 2 players shifting, those two players must come set for 1 complete second prior to the snap. We do not have both players come set. Actually, both are still moving. Illegal shift. This is not going to be an example of an illegal shift changed into a false start, because all players are set prior to the shift. So this will just be 2 players in motion, 2 players shifting. They must come set for 1 complete second. They do not. We have a foul at the snap, and properly thrown H and L throw, because both players on either side of the field did not come set for 1 complete second. A reminder from previous play, this out of bounds spot is going to be the line judges. In this play, the back judge did the proper mechanic, was on the open side of the field, and we need all 5 officials killing the clock. Now we have options. The options are 4th and 12 at the B10, and the play clock will be set to 25 seconds, and the game clock will start on the snap as it was a legal kick play. Option number 2 will be 1st and 10 at the A25, which is 5 yards in advance of where the succeeding spot is. Play clock to 25 seconds. Game clock starts on the snap again, since it was after a legal kick play. So once we have the dead ball spot, line of scrimmage official, you find the coach. Referee, you find the captain. Give them the options and have them communicate. 5 yards previous spot, replay 4th down, or 5 yards in advance of the succeeding spot, 1st down and 10 for the receiving team. This next scrimmage play, we're going to play, you make the call. Is this no foul? Is this running into the kicker? Or is this roughing the kicker? So we're going to play it back one more time. And as we play it back one more time, we're going to give you the reasons why you should be able to communicate the judgment. Is this running into, roughing, or legal contact on the kicker? So before we click play again, is it legal because the defender was blocked into the kicker, or did any defender tip the kick? In that case, referees would hold out 2 arms to their side, almost like a safe signal in baseball and softball, and communicate, I got nothing, and get your wing officials why. The next one, running into. Is this contact just displacing the kicker? And the third option, roughing. Is it forcibly charging into? Is it attacking or punishing the kicker? So we'll play it out one more time. What 3 options? And the correct ruling on the field would be running into the kicker. We're going to go in slow motion here. What we're looking at here, all right, so did number 7 tip it? If I don't see the referee give the tip signal, I know as a person watching the game film, ball was not tipped. Going back, was number 7 blocked into? No. We had 2 defenders beat the shield. They are not blocked into. They continued moving forward on their own volition. And then when we talk about attacking, punishing, or charging, they did not go through and land on the kicker. They actually made contact and were stopped when contact was made. This is a simple displacing the kicker into the ground, which is a 5-yard penalty. We just talked about a 5-yard penalty during a kick can be enforced at the previous spot or succeeding spot. This rule of running into the kicker has a very unique penalty enforcement. Only one option, and that option is a 5-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot only. And since we got 4th and 10. The option will be 4th down and 5 or decline the penalty by rule. They do not have the option to enforce a 5-yard penalty on the succeeding spot on running into the kicker. Our final clip on this week's training tape over scrimmage kick punts will include a fair catch, awarded fair catch, and the options the receiving team has after an awarded fair catch. Line judge release, looking over his shoulder, head linesman remaining at the line of scrimmage, and the umpire being still, looking at the blockers blocking down the middle of the field. Great positioning and doing our primary. And you see the shadow of the back judge. He is on the open side of the field. As this kick goes, we know any waving signal back and forth above the head is a valid fair catch signal. And what that does, it gives the receiver protection to catch this ball with an unimpeded opportunity to catch it, and that protection is there through the process of the catch or after he touches the ball or the ground. In essence, the kicking team cannot contact this receiver. What he gives up with the valid fair catch signal is he or his team cannot advance the ball after it is possessed and caught. So, valid fair catch signal, waving back and forth. I get protection as a receiver, and I give up my ability to advance the ball after the catch and possession. Ball is dead right now. Catch is complete. Back judge did a phenomenal job of letting the whole entire process happen. Then he blows his whistle. Then he signals stop the clock. So, many coaches think that wherever that player caught the ball, they have to next snap it at that spot. Not only the yard line of the 45, but that specific position. So in this case, I would put it at position number 5. But is that the rule? And the rule is the captain can choose to next snap or free kick from any position between the hash marks. So this offensive team was awarded a fair catch at the 44-yard line, position number 5, and the offense chose to next snap the ball at position 3 in the middle of the field. So yes, it is legal, and wing officials, after a valid fair catch signal, ask a coach, where would you next like to snap the ball? We're going to take it a step further. Let's say there is 12 seconds left in the game, and this offensive team is down by 2. Remember, they have the option to choose the next snap, either from a scrimmage snap or a free kick. So put the ball on a tee, have the receivers 10 yards away from that ball off the tee, and if they kick that ball through the field goal, they can get 3 points to win the game. We're a little bit outside of a free kick field goal being at the A44. But if we play this out and the defense commits a 15-yard foul, personal foul face mask, illegal block below the waist on the defense, think about any 15-yard foul, we will go 15 yards from the previous spot. And we would have now the ball not at the A44, but we would move it up 5, 10, 15 yards, now at the B41. And we would go from 12 seconds to 6 seconds. The captain, the offensive team, still has the option to next snap the ball or free kick the ball from the 41-yard line. If they choose free kick, you line up the kickers along the 41, you line up the receivers along the 31, The offense can choose to snap it anywhere between the hash marks at the 41. If they kick and make that field goal, that would be 3 points to win the game, 13-12. So officials, take time this week and have one person on your crew to create 5 rules questions, or each person get into the casebook and stump the crew. What is one unique high school rule we need to know about in case the team chooses to use that rule to win the game when it matters the most? After awarded fair catch, that yard line, they could place it anywhere between the hash marks, and if that down is replayed, the offensive captain continues to have that choice until a down is played. That concludes training tape number 4 for the NSAA NFHS scrimmage kick. Next week, we are going to focus on running plays. We'll cover illegal formation. We'll cover spotting the football and forward progress. We'll talk on cross-field mechanics, and we will touch on what is and what is not offensive holding on the interior and perimeter. Officials watching this, if you have good running play clips, please send it in to myself at psoa@premiersportsofficials.com. Your clip can be part of the training tape to influence Nebraska officials, players, and coaches to reach the goal of consistency and understanding the rules, the mechanics, and signals of this great game of football. Thank you for taking time out with PSOA. Officials, remember, you're only as good as your last call.